Hey, welcome back to another episode of Rock Fantasy Files on the Rock Fantasy YouTube channel. I'm sitting down here tonight to chat with someone that's coming up to Middletown to play a show on Saturday, February 11th. I'm sitting down here with Art Gold, lead vocalist and guitarist of the New York City-based black metal outfit Jotunheim. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How are you doing? So let's hear a little bit about the band because I just discovered you guys through Jeremy
Yeah.
of Winter Nights. He was up and played a show with us Black Friday. We're trying to work on a show to get him back up, and he kind of recommended you guys. And we're putting
Cool.
together a birthday party for a good friend of mine, Ralph Tambora. We call him Count Ralphus. He does a lot of the vlogs and stuff we do, and we tried to pick out a show for him. So we got you guys going on last headlining around 11 o'clock at night, and we got
All right.
Show No Mercy, the Slayer tribute. We have Reaper and Crucial Pain all performing that night, and this is a free show. So I wanted to get you guys on just to spread the word about you guys and to welcome again, and let's hear a little bit about your band and what we'd like to tell us.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. First of all, really appreciate it. And Jeremy, great dude, Jeremy. I know Jeremy for over a decade now through playing local shows together. Great dude. We played a few shows together last year. But yeah, we go back. I would say a little over a decade. But yeah, Jotunheim. I formed Jotunheim back in October of 2011.
Okay.
I was living in California for a couple of years. I went to school in San Diego.
All right.
And so I was just like messing around with some riffs. And, I kind of, when I moved back to New York, I wanted to make something of it. And I ran across an old, I guess you could say, classmate from high school. We were together part of the guitar program in our high school in the Bronx. He was the drummer. And I just messaged him on Facebook. I was like, hey, dude, I got these riffs, trying to do this black metal thing. Are you interested? And he was up for it. And we started the band, right away, like a week or a few days after our conversation on Facebook. We met up at the studio, started jamming, and started booking shows, getting shows together. Unfortunately, he's not in the band anymore on good terms. He moved to a different state. But yeah, Jay and myself started Jotunheim back in 2011.
Cool. And you've got some music out. I was looking at your Bandcamp. You've got a full length, a couple EPs, and now this is only on digital. You can't go out and buy it on a CD or a vinyl yet.
Actually, the two EPs and the full length, I do have CDs, physical CDs that I take. Yeah, I carry them with me to shows, and if anybody wants to waste their money on us,
please,
we're more than happy. But yeah, so on local shows, or any shows that I shouldn't say local, but shows that we have, I bring some merch, shirts and CDs to distribute, sell, trade.
So we'll look forward.
So we have the two EPs. On the first one, The Frozen Abyss, is from 2013. The second EP, Towards Vigorous Destiny, is 2015. And the full length, Asgard's Nemesis Rise, 2020.
Excellent. And how'd you come up with the name? What's the meaning behind the name for those?
So I got into Norse mythology years ago. Came natural because most of my discography are from bands from the Scandinavian scene, Norway, Sweden. And one of my biggest influences is a band that some people may have heard, Immortal.
Of course.
So Immortal has this world they created and called Blashrik. I'm probably mispronouncing it, but Blashrik.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it's like they're made of frozen, chaotic world. So I kind of wanted to incorporate, my love for Immortal and my interest in Norse mythology. Came up with Jotunheim, which is the land of the frost giants in Norse mythology.
Okay.
So that's how I kind of came up with the name, and the theme with all like the lyrics and that right. It's really Norse mythology. You know, basically like telling a story through the lyrics. So even with the music, when I write the riffs, it's like I don't look at it as, you know, intro, chorus, verse. You know, it's to me, it's like I'm telling a story with the music and also with the lyrics.
And yeah, let's break down a couple of the songs on the new album, maybe, and talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. So the single is called Jormungand. He is the Midgard serpent. So we kind of made that our single and we did a music video for it that's available on YouTube.
Yes, I've seen that, and I think I
Yeah.
was asking you about that because I was like, when I first reached out to you guys and Jeremy turned me on to you guys, I watched the video and I was like, wow, really?
Cool.
I thought it was very professional and it was very well done.
Yeah. Actually, the two guys that recorded the video, two of my good friends, we used to play in a band together years ago, and we still keep in touch. They're still the bestest of friends of mine. We talk several times a week. So
where did you shoot that video?
So Jotunheim used to jam at the basement of a bagel shop in New Jersey. So my drummer, his father, it's either an owner or a manager. He's somewhere up there, and he allowed us to rehearse in the bagel shop. We don't rehearse there anymore. We have a different spot now.
Okay.
But so downstairs in that area was very, you know, it's kind of grim looking, you know. So might as well shoot the video there. Cost effective.
Well, yeah, I thought it was really cool, and one of the reasons I booked you guys was watching this video, and I'm like, man, where would we have these guys go on as we put this card, you know, as a show together? I call it a card. I guess I'm in the wrestling business still. I'm talking about wrestling.
Yeah, I'm a big wrestling fan too.
Oh yeah. So as we put the package together, it's like, and this is being held in a bowling alley where you guys are playing, and I'm thinking like black metal, my friend's birthday party. I think we should have you guys, you know, kind of headline, go on 11 o'clock, you know, later at night, and just end the night in that way. And talking about Immortal, I bet you that me and you have probably rubbed shoulders at many shows in New York City over the years.
I'm sure.
Because I was at all those kind of shows in the city. I haven't been in the city much since the pandemic. I do plan on coming down again for some shows very soon, but I've seen Immortal at not Irving, at Gramercy. I saw him at the Masonic Temple in Brooklyn.
Yeah, like that church in Brooklyn. I was there too.
You were there for that, yeah. So I got pictures of me in the store with Abbott, and then I saw Abbott kind of right before the pandemic in at the Gramercy when Abbott solo. Yep, I was at that show, and I believe, you know, I've seen Winter Nights open up for some of these bands too. So it's really cool to have this venue up here by my shop, because we haven't had a venue in years, and to bring bands like you guys up here. What were some recent gigs that you guys have played in New York City? Anything memorable, or you know?
So I mean, going back, one of the most memorable ones was in Irving Plaza. We actually had the opportunity to open up for Morbid Angel.
Wow.
So that will always, you know, that comes to mind right away.
What year was that?
2013, 14.
Also a little
13.
while back. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, Winter Nights was on that bill as well.
Okay. Yep. Cool.
But in terms of no, I'm sorry. In terms of recent shows, you know, we just had a show at Lucky 13s a couple weeks ago. That was really good. We played a few times recently at the Kingsland in Brooklyn. You know, a lot of the shows are, you know, in the Queens, Brooklyn areas. You know, recently a lot of venues, unfortunately, became casualties of the pandemic.
Of course. And just an odd thing up here, we kind of got a venue because of the pandemic, because this is a bowling alley, you know, has a nice restaurant in it too, like a brew house. You can get some nice, you know, great beer and stuff. And this was a big arcade area, and they had to sell off a lot of the equipment in the arcade. So they approached me and they built a stage in that area and got me to come in and do some booking. So yeah, one thing works out and another. some of your influences? We already kind of talked. I'm just making some notes that I have written down for this interview. Immortal, of
Yeah,
course. What any other bands you
yeah.
want to
I mean,
influence?
in terms of black metal, Immortal,
Mm-hmm.
Windeer's top, top
Mm-hmm.
five for me. I love Windeer.
Okay.
Um, of course, Dissection, Emperor.
Yeah.
I could keep going.
Sure. Sure.
A lot of those second wave black metal bands. Old school Satyricon, old school
Mm-hmm.
Enslaved.
Yeah. Enslaved. Yeah. Great
You
stuff.
know, and a lot of the newer bands. In the last, maybe 10 years, there's a band from Norway. I'm probably mispronouncing it. Diavo. It's
Okay.
they're awesome. Like so atmospheric, so old school sounding. Um,
I guess
so
another
yeah, a
question.
lot of old school bands, a lot of new school black
Mm-hmm.
metal bands have,
I guess the question would be, who else is in the band? I guess we better talk about them too, huh, tonight?
yeah, sure. So in I would say 2018ish,
Mm,
I kind of did a new chapter of Jotunheim. So my drummer my original drummer, I knew he was going to move eventually out of state.
mm-hmm.
So I kind of approached him at rehearsal and I was like, listen, I have these songs written, um, but you're not going to be around, so, you want to maybe part ways on good terms. It was
Mm,
totally good terms. We still keep in touch, but,
yeah.
he moved to Colorado, so it wouldn't have worked out.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed to find a drummer. I feel like finding a drummer is the hardest thing to do, especially in extreme music.
I bet. Yeah.
So I met Amir because Amir, aka the Beheader,
Mm-hmm.
he we both played in the same band, but at different times. There's a band called Less Legion. They're a Vikingish metal death metal band.
Mm-hmm.
So I played for them years ago. I was their bassist, and then after I left, Amir joined on drums. Um, but both bands, we were like brothers and brothers.
Yep.
So
Yep.
so I kind of would always joke around that Amir would be the future Jotunheim drummer because I knew eventually that Jay would be leaving,
Mm,
moving out of state. So I contacted Amir in I want to say 2018,
okay.
and he was totally thrilled to do it. So just me and him, just I would email him the songs for the new album. I'm terrible at recording, but on my Mac I have GarageBand, so
Mm-hmm.
I would kind of like record riffs and put the songs together, very unprofessionally, like
Mm-hmm.
trash. But it was just something for him to listen to. Would come up with drum parts.
Mm,
So it was just me and him rehearsing for months and months in 2018, and in 2019 we went to record the album. Was it 19 or 20? No, it was the beginning of 20. Yeah, so in 19 and into 20, we started recording the album.
mm-hmm.
So he did the drum parts, but I did bass, both guitars and vocals.
Okay.
But playing a show with two guys is kind of difficult.
Yeah.
Although we had to do it once
Mm-hmm.
because of COVID. But
Mm-hmm.
so then I got a couple of guys that agreed to join and help us out. So
Mm-hmm.
currently on joining me on guitar, we have Adam, who I know. His stage name is Forza, but I know Adam for over probably 2 years,
Okay.
because we're both from the Bronx originally. He's
Mm-hmm.
still there, and my first band was this death thrash metal band, and I was like in high school, senior maybe, and he's a couple years younger than me, so he kind of looked up to us.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a great guitar player, so when I released the album and the music video, he really liked it. So I'm like, hey, you want to join me on guitar? He was
Mm,
totally up for it.
cool.
And on bass right now, we have his name is Junior. He's known as Black Troops. He's actually also the bassist and vocalist of a band called Fire Haze. They're
Okay.
kind of like groovy, thrashy kind of sound. Very
Okay.
awesome, very good sound. So actually, we had a show in Dingbats in New Jersey
Okay.
months ago, and we did as a three-piece because we didn't have a bassist. And Junior was at the show, so he said, "Hey, like, what's going on? Do you need a bassist? Let
Mm-hmm.
me know." So the next day, I let him know, and
Cool.
he's in the band, and it's been awesome. We have great chemistry. You know, all the guys are just, we joke around a lot, you know, and everybody's so cool with each other, and you know, and we play some good music, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you guys on stage here in Middletown, New York. As we film this, it's February 2nd. I'm looking at the date here. Been that kind of a day. I don't know, couldn't even tell you.
Yeah,
But
right.
you guys are up here a week from Saturday on the 11th, and we look forward to seeing you guys on stage. You will be the first black metal band here.
That's awesome.
We've
Looking
had
forward to
hardcore, death metal, everything else. I said we got to get a black metal band. I threw a couple of names out that I saw Jeremy, and he said, "Oh yeah, Jotunheim for sure." So yeah, we look forward to you guys. You'll have some merchandise. It sounds like you have some CDs. We had some T-shirts there too, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. So we're absolutely looking forward to this. Like I said,
Mhm.
most of the shows have been in Brooklyn and Queens. So
Mm.
you know, getting out of the New York City area, going, you know, up
Bring you
north.
up in the suburb, yeah, into
Yeah,
the north.
up north.
There's still no snow up here though. I don't know what. Maybe
Yeah,
you
well,
guys.
you never
Well,
know, because
we don't want a snowstorm that day.
hey, listen, I can't promise anything, but when Jotunheim plays, the weather gets grimmer, so there might be some snow that day.
It's cold up here now, but
Yeah,
it's
let me
not
see.
snow. It's still no snow on the ground. Can you believe it? All winter
Yeah,
up here.
let me see if I can awaken the pagan gods and bring some snow. But yeah,
Yep.
we're definitely looking forward to the show.
Mm-hmm.
We do have, like I mentioned, we do have shirts.
Mm-hmm.
We do have the albums, the two EPs and the full length. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
And
Getting
it,
out of New York City.
yep. And it's
Be
a free show. It doesn't cost anybody anything for anybody to come. So if anybody's watching in the tri-state area or up in the Hudson Valley, please come on out. Of course, it's going to be a killer show. You know, starting out with Crucial Pain, a thrash metal band they're out of Connecticut. And then we have Reaper for their
Mhm.
debut at the club too. And they are more in vein of Iced Earth, I was told. It features Tommy, who also sings for Last Pharaoh, his other project, which I haven't seen. We've had Last Pharaoh play a whole bunch of times for our anniversary parties. And then we're gonna have the Show No Mercy come on, uh the Slayer tribute for about an hour set. Then you guys will round up the night and we will have an after party at my store after at midnight. So everybody can come over and check out the shop. We've got pinball machines, we've got an arcade in there, which we will open up that night for an hour or two. And everybody can come out and party and play some metal and all that good
Absolutely.
stuff. So I guess we can wrap this up, and you have a way for people that are watching the video to find you guys on the World Wide Web and social media and stuff, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we have the Facebook page. You can, you know, search Jotunheim or Jotunheim Black Metal will come up. We have Instagram. You can look us up, you know, Jotunheim Black Metal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all the music is on the major streaming services. You know, you have Bandcamp, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, Spotify, like
Yep.
all that stuff. So we're
Cool.
there.
Sounds great. And we will see you next week at Quiinz Pinz in Middletown, New York, and after party at Rock Fantasy. And hopefully we can toast up a couple tasty beverages.
Yeah, more than
Uh,
a couple.
all right, cool. So I guess we'll wrap this up and we will see you soon. And hey, if you like the channel, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel so you can see what we're doing. Next week, we're going to be back on with 1983 album battle featuring Black Sabbath Born Again, going up against Dio Holy Diver and
Ooh.
Ozzy Osbourne Bark at the Moon. That'll be filmed next week, so please check in and check that out. And we're going to be talking with some of the guys from Show No Mercy tomorrow too, so that video will be coming up on the channel too. But take care.
Take care.